Hey, what is up, Team Rock Rep? This is Coach Chris, and this is my first video in a couple of weeks, and I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about my hiatus. Not going to try to make excuses, but Thanksgiving did me dirty. I was in a food coma, I'm pretty sure, for several days. Over that weekend, I was in 4 different cities over 4 different days. Got to watch the most exciting slash emotionally, mentally exhausting college football game of my entire life. I got to go with my beautiful fiance's family to College Station to watch our Aggies whoop up on LSU for 5 hours and 7 overtimes worth of football, but it was exciting nonetheless. And so things have been finally starting to slow down for me. I'm getting back in my groove, getting caught up on all of my online client stuff, some of the people I meet with in person, getting their programs handled. And so I wanted to sit down, make a new video, and it's not fitness related. If you guys will refer back to the first video, I mentioned that there's going to be some times where I'm kind of just going to talk off the top of the head, not really have planned what I'm going to say. Not that I really do that in my other videos, but this topic in particular is going to be for really anybody that struggles with finding purpose, just in life in general. But I'm going to be speaking from my experience as a Christian and how this applies. And so I'll kind of preface this whole thing by saying, if you've never met me in person, or you've never seen my testimony video that's on Facebook, or you don't follow me on Instagram or anything like that, I'd like to introduce myself as a Christian. That is the first thing I typically would like for people to know about me. I love the Lord. I am a sinner just like everybody else. But with that being said, there's grace that covers it all. And so that's what I want you guys to know about me. If you don't know me and you don't remember anything else, don't remember if I'm a good coach or not, remember that I love Jesus. And so I'm going to kind of be talking today from that perspective. And given that the whole LSU game was fresh on my mind, I want to use a college football story to kind of help get my point across. And so last weekend, we had the title conference games for all the different conferences in college football, one of which was the famous Alabama versus Georgia, the repeat, right? Everyone was stoked about this game. Everyone thought that Georgia had a really good chance of winning, which for 3 quarters they were. But that's not what I want to focus on. I want to focus on a particular player, and I typically wouldn't single somebody out like this, but I believe that this particular player exemplifies the point that I'm trying to relay in this message, or this video, not this message. I'm not a preacher. But I want to focus in on one athlete, and that athlete is Jalen Hurts. And so if you don't know the story of Jalen Hurts, I highly encourage you to look into it because it is very incredible. Just to give a quick recap of where he started, where he is now. Last year against Georgia, Jalen Hurts got benched at halftime. And it wasn't to another person of the same class. It was to a freshman who, that freshman, as most people know, he's a Heisman candidate now, Tua Tagovailoa, I think I said that right, came in the game and ended up winning the national championship for Alabama last year. Fast forward to this year in the rematch against Georgia, Tua kind of off to a rough start. Down to the very last, the 4th quarter, I believe it was, Jalen Hurts comes in because Tua Tagovailoa, I think I said that right again, got hurt. And so Jalen Hurts, who never transferred, who never thought about transferring, gets to come into the game and do his job. And the reason why, well, let me finish. I guess I should say that Alabama ended up winning the game because Jalen Hurts came in and put together 2 touchdown drives. And there's a couple of things that I think are incredible about that. Mainly the irony is pretty incredible. But I want to focus on his character and what that means for specifically Christians. Guys, like, we need to look at this, and I'm not saying that we need to idolize Jalen Hurts. I think he's a great dude. Any interview I've seen with him, I think he carries himself. I think he's a fine young man, and he's a heck of an athlete. But we really need to look at the character and try to mimic this in our day-to-day life. This is a guy who lost his starting job to somebody better, got benched for an entire year, And then in a game when it matters most, he comes in, he stayed ready, and he got the job done. And the reason I like telling this story is because that's how we need to be as Christians. It's what I strive to be in my life. It's what I believe that all Christians or all followers of Christ should strive to be. And the particular instance where I find this to be difficult is when, let's say, you're praying for something in your life, you're praying for a miracle. It's especially difficult to have this sort of character about you whenever you're praying for a miracle and you have to sit and watch God give that miracle to somebody else first. And this happened even in the Bible. And, that's hard. It challenges your character. And I think we as Christians and we as a church need to take those seasons when things are hard, when we're not getting our way, when we're having to not get our way, but we're having to watch others get what we want. I think it's incredibly, incredibly important to remember that we're called to stay ready, and that when the Lord comes to put us in the game, we are equipped and we are ready to do the job that He has put us on this earth for. And this particular topic gets me really fired up because if you've talked to me, you know I'm very passionate about health and fitness. I believe God put me on this earth, as crazy as it sounds, to help influence and inspire people to live healthier, happier lifestyles. I believe He gave me the knowledge. He gave me the teaching skills, the speaking skills to be able to do all these things and to communicate these type of messages. And so this is a topic that I get incredibly excited about because I find myself constantly comparing myself to other coaches. Well, I work just as hard, or I maybe even have more degree or certifications than these other coaches. Wow, I just had a really bad lisp. Than these other coaches, yet they're making seven figures, and I'm working a desk job while I'm doing coaching just to make ends meet. So I personally struggle with this, but stories like Jalen Hurts reminds me I've got to stay ready for when the Lord calls me to do His work, whether it be through a medium of His choice or one that He provides in my life, or I shouldn't say or, He's going to provide the medium, but whether it be through what I think it's going to be, being fitness, or whether it be something else, all I know that is guaranteed is that I am called to stay ready for when He puts me into the game so I can go and get the job done. And so just like the video is titled, Being Jalen Hurts Ready, I encourage you to pray for that for yourself, for your loved ones, for your significant others. Pray that because it is very powerful and empowering. God gives us authority on earth as believers. Believe it or not, even though we're persecuted and all of these things happen, God has given us authority, and that authority is through His Word and through His Son. And I think it's really important to remember that because He's going to call you into the game. It's going to be a matter of if you are ready to play. And so I'm going to wrap this thing up by saying if you're watching this and you don't know Christ, or maybe you've kind of had some questions, please, please, please don't hesitate. Reach out to me. I'm more than happy to talk about it. And don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy. I'm very approachable and easy to talk to if you can't tell from watching my video. So I would love to have that conversation with you and help you walk through any questions that you may have. And if I don't know the answer, I will very well try to go and find it for you to the best of my ability. And yeah, that's where I'm going to end this one, guys. I hope that this has been inspiring at the very least to you, for people that are on that steady walk and they do have that fire for Christ. I hope that this has motivated you to maybe not be lazy in the areas where you know you are, that cause you to not be ready. I hope it encourages you to take those steps to be ready to go into the game when the Lord calls your name, because He inevitably will. But yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for watching my videos. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscription is the number one way that you can help me, and sharing these videos. All of that is greatly appreciated, and I thank you all in advance. I will see you all here next week as I talk about building symmetry in your physique. Take it easy. Go get some gains. Love the Lord. Love one another. And I will see you all next week. Stay healthy, and God bless.